Welcome to CEO Interviews, a production of Gorecom, in which we sit down with small cap executives, talk about what's going on in their company, especially given the fact we're coming to an end here in 2020. With us, Alan Paul Silverstein, President CEO, ImagineAR, trades on the CSC under the stock symbol IP, and for our friends in the US under IPNFF. Look, for those of you who might be new to the story, because of Gorecom keeps bringing a new audience, so you're always looking at what we're talking about. As the name implies, ImagineAR is an augmented reality company. What they basically do is enable businesses to create their own mobile phone augmented reality campaigns. No programming, no heavy technology. And that's when you consider the AR essentially a technology that lays digital image and graphics over the real world. Now, who else believes in that? Apple CEO Tim Cook, who said, and I'm going to read the quote, AR will play an important role in how we use technology in the future and promise to be as influential in our society as the smartphone. That's where AR is going. Now, imagine where they're going. They've already started commercializing. This isn't a piggyback. This isn't a company that's trying to ride a wave. They've already started commercializing. Clients include NFL alumni, two of the biggest soccer teams in Spain. In the US, the NBA Sacramento Kings. In Canada, Shoppers Drug Mart. They're international and they're signing really big agreements. 5-year, $300,000 licensing agreement came out earlier this year. Partnerships. You're talking about Engage Nation, the award-winning leader in digital engagement for casinos. North Highland, one of the top-ranked consulting firms on the planet. This is what IP was able to do this year. Alan, welcome back.
Thank you very much, George. It's been a while. I appreciate it. Love the enthusiasm, and we're excited as you are as we're ending this year, but really more importantly, going into 2021.
Look, the enthusiasm is easy, right? When given the number of deals and the gravity of the deals, a year and a half ago when you and I first started speaking, you were doing the Erie Otters and the little hockey teams and little baseball teams.
Erie Otters and the Seawolves. The Seawolves just had one of their catchers signed for $40 million with the New York Mets. Don't knock those little teams in Erie. They're still making impact.
And not at all, actually. The reason I'm saying that is every company's got to start somewhere. I don't care who you are. You got to start somewhere. So let's talk about how good do you feel, given the fact, I'm going to read off some names. Real Sociedad, Shoppers Drug Mart, Indian superstar Ananya Burla. How does it feel to have added these and many more, companies onto the roster?
Well, certainly, George, we're proud of it. Our team has worked really hard. And AR is really a starting industry, right? It's still nascent, it's still beginning, but it's exciting. If you told me back at the beginning that we'd have two of the top soccer teams in the world as clients, besides Ananya, I'd be totally shocked, because we spend so much time focused in the US and North America. And when COVID pandemic hit, we still had tremendous amount of interest here in North America. But as we expanded, joining GSIC, which is a global sports innovation center sponsored big time by Microsoft, it started opening up the Europe opportunity, and it started to wake us up that this is global now with AR and with the new environment is with the pandemic. So we're excited to have these opportunities to partner with these on long-term deals with properties, such as you said, Real Sociedad and Valencia. And by the way, Valencia is doing the install of the SDK as we speak now. They're looking to launch before the end of the year. We'll see how it goes, but that is our new native mode high performance SDK with our AR Cloud 2.0 version as well. We've done a tremendous amount of rework this year as well on our tech.
And there's a combination of two things that are taking place right now, right? The first is that as we started talking about a year ago when you and I first started working together, that augmented reality is just it's going to be an unstoppable, undeniable growth phase, right? It's going to be
it's absolute insanity now. And you're seeing it in multiple different areas. You're seeing lots of new startups, lots of the ecosystem developing. Google going out and putting out, they just put out AR objects now, right? And they just did little baby Yoda just came out a day ago. And Apple, when they announced the 12 Max Pro, it's all about LiDAR. It's all about reading the room and laying out AR. They are making a huge commitment to AR. So you're seeing AR now start to go from the phase of playing with proof of concept to really becoming part of business practices and a target revenue generation opportunity and a very serious channel of digital engagement for sports fans, for education, for music, entertainment. Almost any one of the verticals out there is looking at AR seriously. And we're going to expand also as we go forward in 2021 beyond just our existing vertical markets to date.
And look, it's one thing for the whole world to be on AR and it's on a growth phase and people want it. They see the ROI, revenue generation. But as I've been in this business for 23 years, it's quite another to get Real Sociedad, NFL alum, shot. So what is it about your technology that is, if I had a map in front of me, I can put a stamp on India, Spain, America, Canada, right? What is it about your technology that these big stars, big organizations love about engaging you?
You know, we do a lot of demos, and we continually get approached, and we get new calls every week. It's just been amazing in terms of the type of customers calling us from different verticals and the calls around the world. I mention it in even the demos, George. I say it's like Field of Dreams. We spent years building and investing millions into this platform, and we've already gone through 2 reiterations or generations of it, and about to come out with the 3rd. And it's sort of like we built it, and now with COVID and the pandemic happened, it just seems like it all came into being relevant at this point. And when we show our platform, there's a couple of avenues that get very exciting to a number of the sports, the entertainers, or other areas that we're talking to. Shoppers drug market is they want to drive and build their audience. They want to engage their direct target. When you do AR, a lot of people are familiar with Snapchat. Snapchat is probably the most exceptional in the world of AR, using face filters, putting on funny things. Wonderful use of AR, great introduction. Probably the biggest AR focused kind of company, although that's part of the business. And when we see that and sports teams or entertainers discuss it, they're not building their own audience. They're giving their audience to Snapchat. The key is using our SDK and our platform. They can build unique AR engagements in minutes without a programmer and keep the audience to themselves in their application, in their platform, in their engagement. So they're building their community and monetizing and not giving it away to a separate platform. And I think that's what we're seeing is the main factor is we're getting involved with Real Sociedad and Valencia that I met. That's what excited. And if you go to those 2 teams that you keep mentioning, I don't know if you looked into it, but Valencia has their own innovation hub. Yep. And they're becoming a central area of resource of selecting the best tech partners in their areas. We're their AR partner. If you look at Real Sociedad with Juan, he also has created a huge soccer, he calls football, innovation group, and we are with him as well in the AR. So you're seeing 2 organizations with a huge fan base. I think what we discussed last time, Valencia has 7 million, is that we are the selected AR target market with them in bringing our platform out there and using it, and not only in day to day, but bringing it to the innovation hubs that they have to offer their clients. We already got referrals in Spain already from Valencia. So we are getting interest overseas from different organizations looking to leverage the platform.
And I'll tell you that, the innovation center that Valencia has built, and that's happening to companies across the world, because I heard a great quote a few months ago, but every company in the world is a digital media marketing company first. So I don't care if you're selling widgets. I don't care if you're a soccer team. You have to be digitally market. You have to think digital media marketing first. So it's not a surprise that you're seeing soccer teams create tech innovation centers to partner with the best, because everybody realizes if we're going to grow our business, if we're going to grow our fan base, if we're going to grow our engagement, we need to bring in the best of breed technology kind of companies.
Absolutely.
Clearly, you've proven yourself. Right?
Absolutely.
There's no argument.
Yeah, Valencia had enough to choose from. There are a number of AR companies that are beginners that are over in Europe. A number of them. They were also around marketing. We were selected both for them and Real Sociedad. And funny enough, both Juan and Franco have been talking. They have a big match coming up in the spring, and they want to do a whole AR program with each other combined using our ImagineAR platform, which is pretty cool, right?
Look at that's amazing.
It's exciting to do it, being here in North America and seeing that occur, across the world in Europe, in Spain. But also joining the GSIC has been a significant enhancement to our exposure overseas, not only in Europe, but also it has assisted us in Asia as well.
So I'm going to ask you a question. If you look at what Imagine was in December of 2019,
Right.
And now look at where it is today. It's made a jump of several magnitudes in terms of the company's penetration into the market now, right? By several magnitudes. Um, is it oversimplifying it to say that, or let me ask, how confident are you that you're going to make another magnitude jump? So 12 months from now, when we're talking at the end of 2021, we're going to look back and say, remember back then, George, we start off with Real Sociedad and Valencia, which are awesome, and NFL and Shoppers Drug Mart, but now we're here. How confident do you feel that you're going to continue making these kind of jumps?
I think we're seeing the market pick up significantly, and we're highly optimistic going into 2021 because our technology has grown enormously. We have done simple green screen kind of activations. I think you saw what we've done with Virtual Santa and just putting it out there. But in building our SDK, which went full native mode, we're supporting the native modes of Apple, of US ZD. We're doing Google GLTF. We're supporting the major amounts of opportunities across the world in using AR and in terms of engagement. So I think in the next 12 months, you're seeing enormous growth with what we're doing in a number of different avenues and a number of new applications leveraging AR. And our technology has made a big jump. We're doing another major overhaul of AR Cloud 2.0 for us, which will be rolled out in the next 60 to 90 days. So you're going to see this growth pick up speed as we go through 2021. In sports, in entertainment, in music. And I think, you're going to see some interesting things. I'll drop a little hints in content monetization through streams. I think you're going to see some live AR streaming opportunities as well with further growth in the music, entertainment. And I'll just put in the hint of the ability to use audio AR activation as well.
Man, that I got to tell you, I'm proud of you when I hear you saying things like that, because again, you and I know each other long before we even started officially working together, and to hear you talk about those kind of developments going forward, I'm going to make an inference here. And look, I didn't know about those. I didn't know about those tech developments.
Nobody
right?
knows. This is the first time
but right away, I'm going to make an inference, which is you don't keep making those kind of tech developments unless either one of two things or a combination of both, which is you're either getting specific requests about these kind of things, or your pipeline is looking so positive that you're comfortable making these upgrades and investing your money. We'll talk about your balance sheet in a second. What does what combination of both of those is
I think you hit it on the head in both. And I think you're pretty on point of what we're seeing going forward. And as content continues to be king and will be, our platform will allow this kind of engagement and interactive opportunities to allow ImagineAR become revenue partnership opportunities in the big ones. And that's what we're looking to do is, yes, we have our software. Yes, we have our platforms, but to monetize that content and be a partner in a number of these opportunities of significance, that's the exciting future. I believe that ImagineAR is going to have some real growth opportunities as we continue through 2021.
So I know you probably can't give specifics, but I'm going to put on my shareholder hat, and I can almost hear, I've always said this. I hear the investors. What does your pipeline look like? I know you probably can't give out specific names, but are you still talking to, this level of companies or prospective customers, and maybe even bigger? And that's why you've got that confidence going to 2021.
I think we've moved up. I certainly Real and Valencia are some big names, but we've moved up in the types of companies, organizations, around the world that I didn't believe maybe we would have access to even 6 months ago. And that's obviously quite positive for the company and the shareholders as we go forward. And then with COVID and the pandemic has really allowed teams to look at unique opportunities for engagement, sports entertainers to do something different, where AR now comes front and center as the opportunity to really engage people on their mobile phones. So yes, you've got a fair point that the pipeline has grown beyond. I mean, just getting Shoppers Drug Mart was a tremendous win for us, because
I thought that was huge.
For 2,500 of their internal employees, managers, pharmacists, to train them on a 2-day big training event with immersive AR. And they selected us over Zoom, over any other company that's offering conferencing engagement, because of what we offer from the mobile standpoint in locations and be able to deliver with our platform instantly. So yes, George, I think you hit it on the head. Is pipeline's grown, a lot of different verticals. We want to seed the market globally, and that's what we've been doing. And it's a grind. You can't just sit here. AR is not a multi-million-dollar deal business. It doesn't exist. We are very aware of what the market is out there, what it can carry. You've got to build the business. You got to do certain kind of seeding in the market in different countries and start growing it. And that's the formula we've been using. And I think it's going to lead us to an extremely successful and optimistic about 2021 and beyond.
Yeah, like when you sign deals like that 5-year, $300,000 license agreement with Wave Sports, I think it's important for people to understand you're not getting $300,000 plunked into your income statement
No,
today.
absolutely. And
You're recognized that over time because in little slices, but that's technology.
And that's SaaS. Like, people don't understand SaaS accounting. If you look at Salesforce, that's a SaaS model. You have to follow and be compliant with SaaS. So even when you announce deals, you've got to allocate over the period of deal. So if it's a 5-year deal, you got to allocate the revenue of a 5-year deal. If it's a 2-year deal, so you're not going to get these big hits because it just doesn't go that way in terms of AR. When you look at even, if you look at Snapchat, which is doing billions, they sell lenses for 5,000 a piece, 3,000 a piece. 10,000. So it's a grind, and that's what you need to do to build out. So we've taken a multitude of different channel opportunities for monetization. We've got the SDK, which is an annual license fee. We've got the revenue partnership deals, which now is part of our portfolio opportunity. We have the white label with a revenue partnership opportunity. So we're engaging different models based on the client opportunity, but again, using the platform as the basis that any of these non-technical opportunities with entertainers, music, consumer brands, they can build their own AR activations, and we're part of it long-term and continue to sustain growth of revenue consistently and build over time.
You're making little pieces, little pieces. That's technology today, right? The days are gone of here's a $1 million install. The whole world is working on SaaS, right? Micropayments, revenue share. That's the power of
and it's
tech.
not just an event. You're right. So you're not creating something saying, okay, I want to recognize, I sell something to a company, and in a 1-day event or a 2-day event, it's done, and then I recognize the revenue. Even Shoppers Drug Mart is a white label 12-month deal. So you're not going to recognize even that deal, which is revenue, unless it's over a period of time. You hit it on the head, and I think that's what people have to look at. We're just finishing our end of year. It'll be filed before December, but our year ends in August 30th, not in a calendar year. And again, you're going back to, what we were doing early year. It doesn't even reflect all the deals that you just brought up.
Right. There's nothing there from September, October, November, December.
And so you're going to just see a delay as we go forward. But I think you're going to see this market seeding continue to grow with all these opportunities, with the SDK, with the enterprise SaaS, with the white labels, and really start to pick up a tremendous amount of steam. And the revenue will follow behind it, but it will follow strongly.
So let's talk about your balance sheet, because you might have people saying, and I've seen some, not a lot, but so it's good to know what shareholders are saying. Say, well, then if that's the business model, they're probably thinking, how do you guys sustain yourself? How you did what was it, $4.5 million, $4.6 million in warrant exercise money? Where are you with that money? I'm sure we're going to see it in the financials, but even then, like I said, that's going to be for August. Do you still have much of that war chest?
We have a huge amount of war chest is still sitting. We've doubled our tech budget right now because of the development of tech, and I still think that's key to keep us positioned ahead of everyone else and really offer the type of solutions, getting the responses we're getting in these demos. But we are well financed through 2021 and beyond at this point. So we're good.
All right. So you don't need to go and raise more money or anytime soon.
Absolutely not. There is no need whatsoever. We run very sharply. People always say, oh, look at all these advisors. The advisors are brought in on stock option opportunities, and that's pretty much it. The opportunity to earn on commissions and that, and the overall cost to maintain that is almost, is minimal. Right. So we are well positioned cash. There is no need to address any needs, any private placements, any financing whatsoever.
And that's the other beautiful side about tech, right? Just like the days are gone of $1 million install with a Agoracom, bang, right? And the flip side of that is you don't have these massive fees anymore for tech, for development, and all that either, right? So it's a double. There's a double-edged sword there, which is great.
Absolutely. And the big change we're going to have out, we're about halfway through, and we've done some major enhancements. Once we took in the warrants and we took in that cash, George, we went back technical, we had a roadmap, and we picked up speed due to COVID. We doubled the size of the team in tech. We still have a very, low burn rate in comparison that puts us well through 2021, probably, through a good amount, if not through 2022 as well, that we could just grow the AR Cloud 2.0. And the cloud is going to be the key.
Beautiful.
Is the cloud, which it will be worldwide with Microsoft Azure. We're a certified Microsoft Azure partner, which has helped us with GSIC, which is a Microsoft-backed sports innovation center in Europe, which is also bringing us lots of new referrals and opportunities as well. By doing that, that cloud allows delivery through many different avenues. We have the SDK, we have the SaaS enterprise. And I have not mentioned, but will be a big part as we go forward, and I didn't drop it before on content monetization with streams, is web AR will be another big area of growth.
What does web AR mean? So it's not it's not on the app.
I don't need an app anymore. I utilize the camera. I point, again, QR code based. We avoided that purposely, but with the pandemic, there's been a big drive towards QR code usage. And in retail environments where someone's just walking by retail and want to look at a package, again, AR activation, or live screen during a broadcast or some kind of event live, take your phone, second screen immersion, point at a code, and go into a full web page AR immersive opportunity, which then could drive a purchase, a redirect to purchase merchandise, donation, or just collect different things. I think we also mentioned the world of rewards for watching specific live events and the world of non-fungible tokens, NFTs. Another little drop in the future of what we're doing. So we really just are overhauling the platform, strategically really building it out. And we have such faith in the SDK and the new cloud that the ImagineAR mobile app that exists today is going to, as they say, eat your own dog food. It's going to basically work on the SDK in the next 90 days. So we're going to actually take the ImagineAR mobile app, which is built on Unity and we've built over the last years, and basically replace the entire mobile app with the SDK built into it, because its performance of it is 2 to 3 times faster. It's native mode and allows the high growth into other areas and all these monetization discussions we've brought up previously.
Man, now I know, and maybe this is an answer for a lot of investors at home, why you've kind of been in stealth mode the last couple of months.
Exactly.
You haven't been the most active CEO on your verified forum, but clearly, like, this is unbelievable what you're telling me here, right? This is fantastic.
We really went heads down elastic, even though we closed Real and Valencia now, we really have, like I said, doubled the tech team, built out a lot of this, have built out. If you look also, we've engaged White Williams. We redid our entire terms of service, our privacy statements for the mobile apps. We have positioned ourselves, because of where we're going with this, to really structure it for a wide scale growth globally, not just looking North America. So you got to take into account GDPR in Europe. You also have new laws in California with privacy. So we, in preparation, have really built the design and architecture to accommodate that, back it up in legal terms and conditions of privacy, and allow us to really expand in 2021. But that is a lot of the reason we've been quiet, is because we're in a transitional period, George, where, yes, we're out there marketing, demoing, but we've restructured the entire architecture going forward. For example, white labels, we were building as like a one-off. With the new AR Cloud 2.0, we basically have a master set of code, and we can dock new white labels, boom, and spin them off in a day for each new client opportunity around the world. Nobody's ever built it. If people are familiar with VMware, where you dock like virtual servers, we are duplicating that opportunity with AR now, with our white labels around the world. Nobody's ever done it. So that's the stuff we've been focusing on and building architecture as roadmap. So if you come and say, I want a white label, rather than having a 30, 45-day cycle to rebuild it, we literally can redock in the cloud and rebuild and then launch it out literally within a week.
That's power, because you know what? That helps the close, right? If you're talking to George Com and they want this, and the same, because we get this question all the time, just as a Gorecom, how long will it take to roll out? So I'm sure you get the same question. If you're telling them months and months, then the enthusiasm comes down. If you tell them, hey, we can have you up and running in the next 7, 10, 15 days, it helps to close, right?
Exactly. And the web AR is going to be key also. And you're going to see some of the interesting things we're going to do with web AR, again, off of AR Cloud 2.0. That is the focus, is to have that content management system in the cloud globally and have different areas to consume it, whether with app, without app, with an SDK, and native mode is key also, to have
Yeah.
it high speed
So you're
performance.
giving your clients options. That's
Exactly.
you're not telling them you've got to go into my app. You've got to have my app. You're telling them,
Exactly.
we can
And
go.
we've done a web AR project. It was supposed to roll out in December. We announced it previously. It's actually was focused up in North America. I can't say whether it's Canada, US, but because of the lockdowns and pandemic, that is currently, had been on hold because there's no one going into retail. So that is something that will roll out, but I think it's once we get further along and things, unlock and open up where people can walk around.
Hey, the one outlier in all this, I see where the NFL alum fits. I see where Valencia
Actually,
fits.
the NFL alumni, you're going to see something coming out that you did not expect. So no, I did say content monetization utilizing streams of AR.
The one outlier Ananya Burla, right? All the other ones are big organizations, sports teams, shoppers, big corporation. I get it, right? But and then I took a closer look into her, and because look, as soon as you announced it, I went on. I took a look at her Twitter and her Instagram. It's clear she's a superstar, a lot of streams, all that. But then I also saw that she's the daughter of an Indian billionaire, right, and the chairman of one of the biggest conglomerates in India. So, is there future? Is there future expansion there possible? Because at first I thought, okay, great, you're in the entertainment sector in India,
Well,
which
that is great. And that should be your focus initially, because we got brought in by Maverick through Mike Tunnicliffe, who's on our board of directors, former Universal. Maverick is under Live Nation. You got to manage a lot of top entertainers around the world. And Ananya and her team were interested in being the first. So yes, fair point. 350 million views across her platforms is not a small amount of viewership when it comes to stream. Like, her videos come out and in 2 days, she has 10 million, 12 million views of her music on YouTube. So fair point is, yes, it is an entertainer. But I lived in India, as you know, and a lot of people know, I lived in India for 4 years. And
I didn't know that.
The Birla name is very famous there. There's like 5 families that you know in India. So yes. And in this agreement, we're extremely excited to work with Nanya and her team and launching her. We've already had our first kickoff meeting. There's going to be immersive AR involved in her videos. We're talking about some other streams with her. This is exciting. She wants to really take technology with her team and integrate it into her performance and into her brand as we roll out in India. But in our agreement, we also signed a business agreement. So yes, George, we opened up a business agreement to market and bring ImagineAR into the business community, into India as well together. But there was a lot of due diligence. And
Sure. Well, that's a big thing for her, right? And her
right,
team,
because
her
she's
Maverick, and
attaching
everybody's.
her name and her brand to
Yeah,
ImagineAR. So I think
they got to be 100% rock solid. They got to take that extra time.
exactly. So we're excited about it. We've already had our first kickoff meeting. I think 2021 with Ananya is going to be amazing in terms of India, in music, and going back to AR streaming potentially and content monetization.
And I can't wait. I want to ask you more, but that look on your face, I like it. You got
You
the smile of a Cheshire cat. I know I can't ask you more, but if I tried, I might be able to get it out of you. I just might be.
No, you won't. But you're on, like, by the time of the interview, people go, enough of it. You might do 3 parts, and we'll go to each one because it's been a while. And again, you've hit a lot of.
No, this is powerful, and your excitement is palpable, and it should be, because look who you've signed, right? That's so on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you? And I know in your tunnel, you execute and you just move. But if you take a second to come back out of your tunnel for a second, and you look at where you were January 1, 2020, and now you're looking at where you're at December 19th. Yes, we are doing this on a Saturday because we're putting this out for Sunday.
Yeah, we're a little bit
December 19th. How do you feel?
I'm never satisfied, George. I think we're still got a ways to go. But yes, our accomplishments from the AR business, if you look across companies that work in AR and measure us against other competitors, we obviously had a very good year, but we're not close to what I expect to achieve. I think 2021 will be the turnaround time from my perspective of some of the things I've mentioned, where content monetization occurs, the channel occurs, subscriptions occur, a lot of these partnerships begin to grow, and I believe our sales pipeline will come to fruition with a lot of new clients. So I don't put it on a scale because from my perspective, every day, I think you know that, Joe, it's like, I'm still not happy. I still want more. I still want to build more. I still want to close more deals. And I expect us to continue this aggressive approach through 2021 in sports, in entertainment. But I think there'll be some good surprises for investors in some of the other areas we're going to end up in as we go forward, because we've made a lot of investment to date. I'm watching the small caps, the small cap, micro cap, market's gone crazy in terms of stocks and price and all that. But in the end, we're building something that long-term has tremendous viability to make us a major player in the world of AR around the globe, not just Canada, not North America, but around the world. And that's what we're focused on. And we're going to continue to grind, focus, execute, close deals, and keep building on what we've done and to grow the company revenue-wise. And I think you're going to see eventually that we believe we're significantly undervalued at this point, that eventually all of it will line up as we continue through 2021.
And look, emerging tech is always, eventually gets valued based on its future potential, right?
Correct.
And I've gone on record about augmented reality. I've been pounding the table augmented reality for a year and a half before you came on.
He just did it again. You and Tim Cook just got interviewed again, and he said, "I'm all in on AR." Like,
oh, I got to get that quote. All right, then I'm gonna have to update the quote.
He just did it again.
The other thing I've gone the record for with is, and I never talk stock price ever. I never talk about stock price. But the other thing I've said on the record, I said it before most people. I said, I'm looking at the trajectory of Imagine. I'm looking at the trajectory of augmented reality and how it's moving its way now into the commercial side, and enterprise has to have it. And I was the one, I think, first who said, by the end of 2021, Imagine's going to be an unrecognizable company compared to what it was. And I had some people saying, 2021, why 2021? Well, look, don't get me wrong. I would love it if you had Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and everyone is your customer today. I would love that, right? But the trajectory to me says, so I'm excited by, just how, it's palpable how excited you are. And I think I'm going to be dead right. I don't know what that's going to mean for the stock price, because that's up to you guys at home. You got to do your due diligence. You got to do some back of the napkin math, and you got to do that on your own. But I'm going to stick by my call that you're not going to recognize Imagine 12 months from now. And that's fine with me, because I've been in this business for 23 years, and me as like anybody who wouldn't love a lottery win tonight on a Saturday night. Everybody does. Right. But the fact of the matter is, success in this business comes from finding a good horse, make sure they're the right space, make sure they got the resources. So the horse is Imagine, the right space is augmented reality, the resources is your balance sheet, and the credibility now, the third-party validation, which everyone at Agoracom knows is the biggest thing for me. Because of course you're going to think ImagineAR is the best company in the world. Of course I'm going to think Agoracom is the best company in the world. But who else thinks that? And now you've got Real Sociedad, Shoppers Drug Mart, Valencia, NFL alum. It goes on, and the consultants, we didn't even talk about them. We'll say it for.
We didn't even discuss the patents.
Yeah, lastly, we can't get to everything, but it's just a case of it's all there. But
there's one other piece, and it's funny, George, you work with IDK and Sheldon just filed the SETI last week in terms of coming back in. So I have a lot of pressure, because when I look at IDK Holdings and I see the success of a lot of his companies, I wake up every day and I go, I know where we got to take ImagineAR, because I see what's happening. And he's been very supportive. He's been wonderful through the years to get us to where we are. He's coming back into the stock, and I just want to ensure that we are one of the successful companies as part of the IDK future as well.
Let me tell you something. As a significant shareholder of IDK, because I've been with Sheldon for multiple years, I have no doubt about the fact that Imagine is already worthy of being there, and that it will deliver a big hit for investors going forward. Will it be 6 months from now, 12 months from now, 18 months from now?
Please don't go that far. Don't go that far.
No, but that's the way I have to speak, right? But it's going to happen. I got no doubt about that. That Imagine's going to be a big part of that IDK portfolio.
Significant. Look at what it took Salesforce. I mean, I'm not saying we're Salesforce. I'm I'm not saying we're, any of these companies, Amazon, that. It takes years redoing the business model, re-upping the technology,
Sure.
reinvesting in technology. We're not going out and acquiring companies. We are continually looking because everyone's like, oh, get some revenue. But we just reinvest in the tech, re-up it. We're starting to get the clients. And yes, if something comes up that makes perfect sense, we'll absolutely look at it, consider it, and see if it fits in synergistically. But what we've built, and just by the feedback of demos, and I've told you, George, before we even started this, just having a demo with a CEO of a major tech company who was consulting for a client. I had 9 people on the call, and at the end, they just looked and it said, we've never seen anything like it. And again, that's got to translate to revenue, but we're getting the point where the technology has got to be strong, advance, ahead of the market, and deliver and be able to drive revenue. And that's where ImagineAR is today. And I'm confident with the name ImagineAR, which we love. Funny enough, we recently got asked by another firm, it's like, do you actually own the trademark to the name? And yes, we own that trademark name. So I love that name.
I got to tell you, it's a genius name.
Yeah, well, appreciate it. And thank you very much for all the help and assistance. And hopefully everyone, as we go forward safely and healthy through the end of 2021, have a great holiday. Come 2021, we are going to have, a great year together. We're highly optimistic. It's been a great end of year, probably the best year in ImagineAR. We've been here 3.5 years, coming on 4. Sure. But we have finally have the traction where AR is something in the market that people are looking for, not just in North America, around the globe. Their companies are willing to discuss revenue partnerships. They're willing to do proof of concepts, and they understand they must take AR and make it a part of their strategy going forward into the future.
I'm not going to say anything that can't be said better than that. Alan, thanks so much, man. Thanks for taking this time on a Saturday to come out, talk to us, talk to your shareholders. And this is powerful, and I thank you for that. And congratulations on behalf of all shareholders. Congratulations on what you've done in terms of building this company and where you've brought it to and how you positioned it. And even as a stock price, it's way better off today than it was on January 1st, 2020. So thanks for all of that. Really appreciate it.
But you could play the theme song. We're just getting started. We're still just at the beginning. There's a lot more to come, and hope everyone joins us on the ride.
Oh, you can bet on that. You can bet on that. For everyone at home, if you've been watching or if you've been listening via podcast while you're walking around the neighborhood or driving your car, to Alan Paul Silverstein, President and CEO, ImagineAR, trades on the CSC under the stock symbol IP, and for our friends in the US under IPNFF. For those of you who are new, and augmented reality is still something a little difficult to wrap your mind around, get to the Agoracom profile for Imagine. Take a look at that profile page. We kind of give you a 30,000 foot good overview to really understand this. Naturally, go to the company's website as well, and maybe even watch the last 2 or 3 interviews that we've done together with Alan to really understand this. Because, guys, augmented reality is unstoppable. It's on its way. Nothing's going to stop it. We're going to upgrade our Tim Cook from Apple CEO quote. But we hope that you guys are all a part of it, and we echo the sentiment of Alan. Have a great holiday, healthy, happy, all the best to your family's new year. See you next time.